Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Mindset Monday. How's everybody feeling? Hope you're feeling great. So I'm glad you joined. What I want to talk about today is about living life aligned with passion. And I have a little PowerPoint. I'm going to see if I can share it. Here we go. See if this pops up for you guys. Okay, do you see this? Life aligned with passion?
Yes.
All right. Fantastic. I love when technology works. And so for, the month of February and March, when I was doing these Mindset Mondays, we talked about power. And so what I have been focusing on really since January is these four things that start with the letter P, and it's been power, passion, prosperity, and purpose. And passion and purpose can really go hand in hand, especially when you start living life more aligned with passion. And now I want to see if I can get the PowerPoint to work, and it doesn't look like it's moving for me. Let's see. There we go. And so when you start looking at things, especially what I've been really focusing on, my passion part of my life, and I wanted to share that with you. And it's based on the book called The Passion Test. And so the Passion Test was written by Janet Bray Atwood and Chris Atwood. And I read this book, I'm thinking probably when it was written in 2002. And so I think that, it's been about that long, about 24 years since I took the Passion Test. And I encourage you to do it. Okay. It's, you can find the book online. Janet Bray Atwood, she actually, you can go to her website called The Passion Test and start to learn more about what you really want in life. And it does take that certain type of mindset, right? It really does. And that mindset that I want you to think about this week is discovery. Discover the things that really make you happy. And I asked this question, did you know that having passions in life are the true way to discover how to live a happy, fulfilled, and joyful life? And through that discovery, we've come up with certain key principles which are essential for you to live a passionate life. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about those 7 key principles so that you can really think about it and hopefully take action after this 30-minute session today, because I really want you to think more about how you can live a happy, fulfilled, and joyful life. And it really does start with having passion. So if you think about it, number 1, you need for it to be about that commitment. Be committed to making your passions very important to you, right? Keep your passions in the forefront of everything that you do. So when you have a certain passion, let's say you have a passion for racing cars, okay? I'm just throwing that out there. When you have that kind of passion, it's almost like you get consumed in that aspect of racing cars, and you want to be really good at it. And so we've had, I've seen certain celebrities like, Paul Newman, Tom Cruise, those kind of people that have that kind of money to buy a race car, and they have a passion for racing it. I'm using that as an example because I had, with my kids, we had a passion for racing bikes. And it was fun because me, my husband, and my kids were enjoying this passion. And it felt good to get out there and do the exercise. It felt good to compete. It felt good to align ourselves with other people that had that passion. And so what happens when you start to align yourself with a passion, it makes you happy. It's like something that you want to do. And when you're good at it, you want to keep doing it. And it fills your mind and fills your body with that feeling of, this is great. This is fun. I'm accomplishing something that I really like to do. And the thing about with that culture of surrounding myself with people that like to do the same thing is they are expressing themselves with that same kind of happiness. So all of a sudden you're surrounding yourself with people that actually enjoy and are committed to doing something that makes them happy. So think about that. But the other thing, when you're committed to something, you actually have to learn to say no to things that aren't aligning with your passion. Okay. So think about that aspect of things where somebody might invite you to do something and you just don't really feel like doing it. So sometimes we spread ourselves a little too thin if we have passions for doing something and then we get pulled in another direction and it's not really something that we enjoy. So saying no is really important when it's not aligning. A lot of times you can use things like, saying and versus but. Like I really would love to do that, and I'll think about it next time, instead of using that word but. But seems to separate us and seems to join you with someone. So I've learned how to do that. I've learned how to say and, I am actually committed to something else this weekend, and I'm going to invite you to it. So that way you can start looking at how you can enjoy and help others to get involved in your passion.
However is another good word I've learned.
Yes. However, I love it because it helps people to see what you're thinking, and they can think about it as well, instead of saying that word but that separates. So I love that. The other thing, number 2, that you want to think about when you are trying to get more involved in some passions is be very clear about what you truly desire. Okay. If you truly desire to help, let's say you want to get involved in a charity, and that's going to be your passion. I'm involved in this project called Project I See You that helps women that are less fortunate and they've been through some things in life, and it helps them to buy their first home. And we've helped over 300 women buy their first home. And it's amazing to get people involved in this. So it's become a passion, right? So I'll make this very clear about how much I want to deposit into that fund, or how much I want to get involved. If you don't have a clear direction of what passion, I like this, fuzzy desires give fuzzy results. Well, they do, because if you're sort of fuzzy about it, you're not really going to get those clear results from what you really want. And realizing that when you have that clarity, it's not a one-time experience. Clarity is something that is always an ongoing process. You always need to get clear. And these Mondays when you're starting your week, is a great day or a great morning to write down what you want to happen for the rest of the week. And I do that every single morning. I write down how I want my day to go. And if you focus on that and you focus on those desires of how you want that day to go and you review them, a lot of times you won't get off track. Now, of course, we have things that happen that will get us off track, but I want you to always realize that you can get back down to those strong desires, especially if you write them down. Put them like on a, index card or write them down on a little sheet of paper and put them somewhere so that you can see and be clear about how you want things to go. Same thing with attention. It's kind of the same thing. We talk about this. I'm a ninja selling instructor. I don't know if you've heard of ninja selling, if you have taken ninja selling before, or read the book by Larry Kendall. Larry Kendall was a mentor of mine for 15 years. And so when I first took ninja back in 2010, and then in 2011, I really started focusing on what I really wanted out of life. And he helped me to remember that your strong passions, for example, when I was racing bikes with my family, those passions have to be funded, right? So you want to focus on how to fund those things. Some passions don't have to be funded, but most of our passions in life do have to be funded. And so when it comes to that, you want to focus on it. Focus on how to increase your income per hour so that you can have a life. And that life outside of work is a lot of passion. If you have a passion for traveling or you have a passion for cooking, a lot of times those are outside of our work. And of course, you can have a passion for helping people buy their first home, a passion for working with investors. Of course, you can have passions within your work. And what we're talking about with the attention part of it is just pay attention to what you're putting your attention on. Okay? Because a lot of times we can get distracted. And that distraction can be the ruin of so many passionate minds. Because if we have a passion for doing something and we want to focus on helping people, but then we get distracted with social media and all of a sudden we've had, 2 hours go by. Let's just say 1 hour a day. And all of a sudden that's, 7 hours a week and 28 hours in a month. And then you multiply that out 28 times 12 and you're all of a sudden you're spending, 600 hours a year in just something that doesn't really need your attention. So I always time myself. I get on Facebook and Instagram in the morning because I want to see who are the people that I want to reach out and touch today. But I time it. I time that I'm only going to spend 10 minutes so that I don't get distracted. So try that in the mornings before you start your day. If you're going to look at Facebook or you're going to look at other social media, time yourself. And it'll help you. It'll help you to put your attention on what you really need to be putting your attention on. And all of a sudden, you're going to start attracting to you the people and places that you desire by giving attention to them. Now, if I want more people to help me with this project, I see you, then of course, I'm going to spend that time on social media, spend that time on email, getting it out to the people that I want to help with this passion project. Okay. So if you shift your focus to things that you're really passionate about, then of course you're going to see some transformation. You're going to be seeing some things. And with Ninja Selling, we always said that what you focus on expands because, and everybody knows this, right? When you start focusing in on something that you really, truly are passionate about, then all of a sudden it expands. It expands out into the world. It expands out to the people that you want to attract. And that's why I think I've been so successful in attracting agents to EXP, is because I'm passionate about helping agents see that EXP is the top brokerage to be involved in. I found out over the realtor rally that we had in Denver that EXP is the top brokerage for creating millionaires. When I heard that, I was just blown away. I thought that was so cool for me to be able to tell other people about it, right? Because all of a sudden I've got this passion about, I want to tell other agents that I know, that I care about their business. And did you know that EXP has created more millionaires than any other brokerage on the planet? It's a cool thing to know. Number 4 is, out of the 7 principles, is you want to stay open. And what we mean by staying open is, the greatest good in your life may not always be what you think it is. So a lot of times we have passion for something and we have these desires, but there can be other desires and other things that happen to you that can lead you on the trail or the path that you should lead or you should go on. You know that Robert Frost poem? Everybody probably knows that poem where, he took the road less traveled, and that has made all the difference. So a lot of times we think we're on the right path and we have this, great desire to go this way. But then if you're not open and you only put blinders on and you're only going this way, if you're not open to learning different things, then you might shut yourself off from a great door that's about to open for you. So be open to learning, release your individual will. That's what I love when Janet said this, release your individual will, which means, be open to new ways of living your highest purpose. And when you learn to do that, to stay open, it could actually be the secret to helping you overcome some of your obstacles that you've got on that path, right? Because a lot of times obstacles will come and they'll test you. And instead of giving up, you remain open, and there's going to be somebody that's going to help you with that obstacle. And then, of course, when you focus on it and you focus on getting better, then it expands, and there's going to be more and more people that are going to show up to help you to learn how to live with your highest and best. The other thing, number 5, is, we talk about this all the time in real estate. How to be the highest of integrity. When I decided to join EXP, it had a lot to do with being with brokers at my past company that I felt they weren't the highest integrity. They didn't have the highest integrity. And I didn't want to surround myself with people like that, right? And so when I started looking for somebody to be my sponsor, I interviewed a lot of people, and a lot of people had been reaching out to me as well from EXP. And I just wanted to go with that number 1 thing. Is this person, do they have the highest of integrity? Because that's who I'm going to relate myself with the closest. So when you think about integrity, try to be as true to yourself as you are to others, and then be true to others as you are to yourself. So if you consider yourself with high integrity, then treat others that way. And what you're going to find is that integrity will come back to you. Surround yourself with people that you really trust. And if they trust you, you trust them, beautiful things will happen. I love that with my team. I love that with the people that I brought on board with EXP, because I find that we are all on that same mission. If we treat others the way we want to be treated, you'll find that people will treat you back that way. And always follow your heart. and listen to your gut because, you've heard that before where you might feel something weird and that might be a sign, right? I always say if it feels icky to you, it's going to feel icky to others. And I write a lot of personal notes. I send personal notes out to people that I'm thankful for. I send personal notes out to people that I've just closed a transaction with, somebody that I might have met that came into our state, from different states, and they wanted me to show them around. I'll send a thank you note back to them when they go back to their home state. And I make sure I connect with them on social media. And if you see something that, let's say, you want to send a note because you saw that their pet died or something, because that's one of the reasons why I look at Facebook in the morning, is because I want to see what happened in their life so that I can reach out either with a phone call or reach out with a personal note and mail that to them. Because a lot of times when it's somebody's birthday, you might be the only person to send a birthday card to. Now, if somebody has a pet that died, I am not going to stick a business card in there, right? That would feel so icky to me if I received a sympathy card and it had somebody's business card in it. So think about the things that you do and say. And if it feels sort of weird or feels icky, don't do it, because it's going to make that other person feel that way. So watch what you say with your integrity. Don't be so brash. A lot of times people are so brash and they think they're funny, and it really hurts somebody's feeling. So think about how it would feel to you and have that mindset of, you know what, I'm going to try my hardest to say positive things versus negative things. And when you make commitment to others, make sure those commitments align with your passions, because if you're honest about what you really want to do and you want to commit yourself, like we were talking about the commitment earlier, don't just do something to appease someone else, because your heart really isn't in it. And a lot of times they can feel that, and they feel like you're being fake. You're not being true to yourself. So a lot of times you can, if you say you're going to do something, then do it. But at the same time, be honest with them and just say, I know I committed to doing this and being there for you, but my heart's not really in it. And just be honest and step back. If you discover something doesn't align, again, just be respectful. Be very honest about it instead of lying, right? Instead of those little white lies. And I like this one with persistence, because I feel like we have to be persistent in our passions and also in our work, the work that we do. I'm very passionate about helping people to understand how short-term rentals work, because I'm in a resort market, and I don't want them to just think that as soon as they buy this property, all of this income is going to come flowing to them. I want them to understand that you have to be persistent. You have to keep doing it. You have to understand that in order to be successful with short-term rentals, you have to understand how it works. And so I pride myself in that aspect of helping people with the short-term rental aspect of it, but also being persistent on my own is making sure that, it's a journey, right? It's a journey with whatever you do. And those who finish, instead of giving up, are the ones who will achieve success. So again, when you're living your life truly aligned with your passion, persistent, for you to keep doing something that you're very passionate about, especially like selling real estate or helping investors, helping first-time home buyers, or any of the other passions you have outside of work, it really isn't hard to be persistent about it, because that passion that you have in the background is going to keep helping to drive you. And if you, I'm sure everybody raise your hand if you read Think and Grow Rich. It's a great book. I read it often. I have like all these little, pages turned down so that I read it again. And I've read it to where I like open it up as a reference. If I got a thought in my head and I want to answer, I'll just like open that book. And the other book is The Slight Edge. The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson is so much about persistence, because it talks about if you have a thought or something and you don't, if you give in and don't persist and don't go for it because it's uncomfortable, that uncomfortable part of it can make you stop and give up. And then that failure, about 95% of people will fail and never do it again. And then life is easy in the beginning, but because they didn't take that risk, it becomes uncomfortable later. So what I suggest and what I've read with Jeff Olson is if something is uncomfortable in the beginning, just keep persisting, keep trying, because when you get to that success, then it makes the rest of your life more comfortable, because you've tried and you've done something and been successful. Then you start to learn how it feels to be successful. And now your life is going to be on an easier track, versus if you give up because it's uncomfortable in the beginning, it'll become uncomfortable later in life. Okay. So think about that and get that book. The Slight Edge is such a great book. Last, out of the principles that we were talking about when you're aligning with your passion is, if you keep trying something and you're like, I really want to succeed, just listen to your heart. Your heart will actually go to your mind. And what I always say is, sometimes if you can slow down, meditate, ask for the answers. And you know what I have found? The best time to ask for this is either really early in the morning, before you've had a lot of distractions, a lot of stuff coming into your brain, and ask right before you go to sleep, because a lot of times you'll have the answers come in your dreams, or because you are in a state of a sleep, you will wake up with the answers. So ask with your heart the answers, and they will come. And deep passion emerges from your heart. Okay. When you have a passion for something and you really love how it makes you feel, it's coming from your heart. It actually is not, all of these endorphins and all of that stuff that you have, because your heart, of course, is the large organ, and you can feel that. You can feel the passion inside your body. And when you feel lost, just pay attention to your heart. If your heart is like, I really truly want to do this, then be persistent, be committed, align with that passion, align with other people that can help you. And if you really do what you love, right? If you don't love real estate and you don't like helping people buy or sell real estate, then maybe this is not for you, because you really should have that passion in your heart, and it will help you with the fulfillment in life. Everything will start unfolding for you. Everything will start to feel so much better in life, because you decided that you wanted to listen to your heart. And this is such a great quote. I'm going to see if I can help you guys take a photo of it if you want. When you are aligned with your deepest, most important passions, the ups and downs of daily life won't be able to throw you off track. And I truly believe this because I do have some deep, deep passions. And I have found that life is so much easier. And I've had so many people help me with my passions. I get involved with other people with passions. And yeah, when ups and downs of daily life happen, it's like I can totally just stay on track because I'm committed and aligned. And so this is the last thing that I want to show you. And I want you guys to, if you can, take a picture of this too, so that you can do this. And this is that passion test that I took, 22 years ago. And I have already changed my passions because the top 5 that I had, I was like, I completed them, and I've started changing some of my passions. But put a date on it. You put today's or whenever you get time to do it, and just say, I am so happy and thankful that I am now living my passions and attracting the following into my life. Okay, so do those things that you are very passionate about, and what is happening in your life. What are you attracting into your life? Whether that's, this new house that you want to purchase, whether it's a vacation you want to go on, whether it's a fund that you want to put together for your kids to go to college. That was a big number one for me. And I was able to do it by buying investment homes and selling those investment homes when it was time for my kids to go to college. So start now. And I really encourage you to say, after you've listed your 5, this or something better. Always be open to higher and better passions, because they will enter your life. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, because I really love reading this book, and it's called The Passion Test. So check it out. And I would love to hear from you too. Okay. So have a great week. See you guys.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.